It's shut down, and that is why the building is closed.
Well, we were advised by the attorneys to close the building. The building shouldn't be open. The risk is great.
I think they take this serious. I think it's a big game to them, and they don't understand that the more confusion and the more back and forth that we do, no one suffers but the people of it.
Buckle up, folks, because the drama swirling around Dolton's mayor, Tiffany Henyard, is reaching a boiling point. The political storm surrounding her is nothing short of a chaotic roller coaster, complete with lawsuits, accusations, and a city teetering on the edge of collapse. As tensions rise, the FBI has been keeping a close, watchful eye on every move, complete with lawsuits, accusations, and a city teetering on the edge of collapse. As tensions rise, the FBI has been keeping a close, watchful eye on every move, adding an extra layer of intrigue to the already explosive situation. If you thought you'd seen your fair share of political scandals, think again. This one is shaping up to be something entirely on a different level of madness.
She's one of the most recognizable faces that's been on the news lately, talking about the mayor of Dolton, Tiffany Henyard.
And all of social.
The latest shockwave in the ongoing drama involves Tiffany Henyard's high-stakes lawsuit against both the village of Dolton and Thornton Township. This is far from your average political dispute. It's escalating into a full-blown battle. One charged with accusations of voter suppression and a deeply questionable caucus process that resulted in Henyard being excluded from the ballot for the position of Thornton Township Supervisor. While some have tried to chalk it up as a simple procedural mistake, there are growing whispers that this may have been a carefully orchestrated move by her political rivals to eliminate her from the race entirely. Legally, however, Henyard isn't backing down, and her legal team believes she has a strong case. Legal experts are abuzz about the strength of her claims, particularly her argument that voters were effectively locked out of the crucial caucus meeting, left to endure freezing temperatures while Henyard's supporters were allowed to proceed inside. The chilling images of those shivering constituents standing helplessly outside, contrasted with the warm proceedings inside, are already powerful visuals, ones that could resonate not just with the public, but potentially with the judge as well. This battle is shaping up to be not just a fight for political office, but a pivotal moment that could alter the future of Dolton and Thornton Township's political landscape.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard was not at the hearing here today. Neither was her attorney, and she was not made available for a comment.
But it's not just the legal battle that has the city on edge. There's an overwhelming wave of fury from Dolton residents that's impossible to ignore. Calls for Mayor Henyard's resignation are growing louder, as the streets buzz with frustration and anger. People are speaking out against her leadership, accusing her of extravagant spending, with millions of dollars in taxpayer funds reportedly unaccounted for. This has only fueled the fire of suspicion, as Henyard's administration seems to be caught in a seemingly endless parade of scandals that keep piling up. Online forums have become battlegrounds, with heated discussions erupting daily. Residents are expressing their disbelief and disappointment, feeling betrayed by the very official they entrusted with their votes. Some have even gone so far as to suggest that Henyard's actions represent a gross misuse of taxpayer dollars, a slap in the face to those who put their faith in her leadership. The city, once full of promise and energy, now feels engulfed in an atmosphere of distrust and uncertainty. The sense of disillusionment is palpable as residents watch their community unravel, wondering how things got so out of control and whether any of their voices will be heard in the end. The conflict between Mayor Henyard and her constituents has now spiraled into something far beyond simple disagreements. It's become a full-scale clash. The mayor's office has effectively shut down, and with it, essential city services have come to a screeching halt. The atmosphere in Dolton is one of complete chaos, with many residents feeling as though their town is teetering on the brink of collapse. Some insiders are quietly whispering that these actions aren't mere mistakes or oversights. They suspect they're part of a calculated act of revenge. It's been suggested that Henyard, increasingly cornered by mounting pressure, is resorting to drastic measures, using the city itself as a pawn in her own personal power struggle. The disruption of services has become a major point of contention. Residents have already seen the cancellation of the beloved annual holiday toy giveaway, and rumors are circulating that more than 100 township employees could soon face layoffs. This has only stoked the flames of public outrage, with many feeling that the mayor is playing political games at the expense of their livelihoods. The anger is palpable, but it's also mixed with a deep sense of fear. People are no longer just frustrated. They are terrified of what lies ahead, uncertain of what will happen next or how long their community can withstand this kind of turmoil. What was once a vibrant and hopeful town is now grappling with a growing sense of dread, and the future remains unclear.
I really think it's very hypocritical.
In the latest twist, Dolton has been plunged into a complete shutdown of city operations, leaving the town paralyzed and in a state of utter disarray. Essential services have ground to a halt, and residents, who should be relying on their elected officials for support, are left scrambling to find solutions to the issues that should be managed by the mayor and her administration. The air is thick with rumors, spreading rapidly and with increasing intensity. Is this shutdown a calculated move by Henyard, a strategic attempt to destabilize her political opponents further? Or is it a last-ditch effort to garner sympathy and support from a public growing increasingly disillusioned with her leadership? Some believe it may simply be the natural consequence of a chaotic and dysfunctional administration that has completely lost its grip. Adding to the already tense situation is the revelation that the township's insurance has not been renewed, raising serious questions about Henyard's competence and her ability to manage even the most basic responsibilities of her office. The lack of insurance puts the town at significant risk and only adds more fuel to the growing fire of distrust and anger among residents. The situation has become so dire that even the most optimistic observers are beginning to lose hope. What once seemed like a series of isolated incidents is now viewed as a systemic failure, and many are starting to wonder if the town will ever recover from the chaos unfolding at the heart of its leadership.
Are off behind me. The doors are locked here, and there's a sign on the building right now that says it's closed for how long? Neither residents nor employees know it.
Looking ahead, the future of Dolton remains steeped in uncertainty. Tiffany Henyard's ongoing legal battles could stretch on for months, potentially costing the city millions of dollars in legal fees, a financial burden that the town can ill afford. But the financial toll is just one part of the equation. There's also the immense political fallout. The prospect of a complete overhaul of the city's leadership looms large, with many wondering if Henyard can weather this storm and hold on to her position. Even if she does, the damage to the community's trust and morale may be irreparable, with many believing it could take years to rebuild what has been broken. The residents of Dolton are left grappling with the question: can they restore order and stability to their town, or has it been irreparably fractured by months of chaos and dysfunction? The answers remain unclear, leaving Dolton's future hanging precariously in the balance. In the midst of this uncertainty, the comments section of a recent YouTube video about the crisis has offered a revealing glimpse into the public sentiment. One commenter voiced a concern that resonated with many. Got evicted, but who's paying her lawyers? Better not be the taxpayers that don't want her. This comment perfectly encapsulates the feeling of betrayal that many residents are experiencing. The notion that Henyard's legal defense is being funded by the very people she's allegedly wronged. For many, it feels like a slap in the face, as they watch their city crumble under her leadership, while their tax dollars might be used to defend her actions. Another commenter wrote, cool we please get an adult to go to this town and take control.
Is to govern, to provide a way, provide services. And we're not doing that because they're stalling government, gridlocking it, because they can't have their way.
Beyond the online discussions and heated debates, the situation on the ground in Dolton is just as unsettling, if not more so. Local businesses are reporting a sharp decline in sales, with many citing the ongoing political turmoil as a major deterrent for customers. The uncertainty and instability are driving people away, leaving businesses struggling to stay afloat in an increasingly volatile environment. Some residents are even considering packing up and leaving town altogether, worried that the chaos will hurt property values and diminish the overall quality of life in the community. What was once a thriving town is now slowly unraveling, with the very fabric of social cohesion.
Fights in Thornton Township and in Dalton. Except in one case, Tiffany Henyard once on a ballot, while in another, a Henyard ally was looking to keep her opponent.
Meanwhile, Henyard's legal team is working around the clock to prepare for the upcoming court battles. with reports indicating that they are gathering crucial evidence, interviewing key witnesses, and building a robust defense strategy. The pressure is mounting on both sides, and with each passing day, Henyard's legal fees are piling up, placing even more financial strain on an already burdened city. The potential cost of these ongoing legal proceedings is astronomical, and as the situation grows increasingly dire, the outcome of the lawsuits remains highly uncertain. However, the stakes have never been higher. A loss in court could not only spell the end of Henyard's political career, but also have far-reaching consequences, potentially exposing further instances of misconduct and even leading to criminal charges. The legal battle is shaping up to be a long and
Manipulation. Nobody likes being manipulated, and when you get here, you know that's exactly what's.
The situation in Dolton remains far from resolved, with no end in sight to the escalating turmoil. The legal battles are ongoing, with each new development further complicating the already fragile state of the town. Meanwhile, the anger among residents is palpable, with many voicing their frustration and disappointment at the leadership, or lack thereof, that has plagued the community. The city itself is teetering on the edge of collapse, caught in a web of political dysfunction and financial strain that seems to grow more intense by the day. Adding to the complexity is the FBI investigation, which continues to cast a dark and looming shadow over everything. The investigation only deepens the uncertainty surrounding the situation, as questions of corruption, misconduct, and potential criminal wrongdoing swirl around Henyard's administration. As the FBI's scrutiny intensifies, the town finds itself in an even more precarious position, as residents and officials alike await the fallout from this high-stakes probe. At the heart of it all is the question of whether Mayor Henyard can salvage her reputation, or if she will ultimately be forced to step down. Her position is increasingly fragile, and the legal and political battles that lie ahead could determine not just her future, but the future of Dolton itself. The trust between the residents and their local government has been severely damaged, and the road to rebuilding that trust seems like a long and uncertain one. Can the community recover from this crisis, or has the damage been too extensive? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear: the story is far from over. The drama continues to unfold, with new twists and turns.
Need some action. Somebody that's actually going to do their job. How about that? Somebody that's come in, work for the people, not themselves, and have pictures all over.
The ongoing saga of Tiffany Henyard has become a cautionary tale, one that underscores the dangers of unchecked power, political maneuvering, and the devastating consequences that arise when personal ambition takes precedence over public service. It's a story that forces us to question the very foundations of local governance and challenges our understanding of what it means for elected officials to truly serve their constituents. As the situation in Dolton unfolds, we're left grappling with pressing questions about accountability, transparency, and the urgent need for ethical leadership in public office. This is a narrative that leaves us unable to look away, a story that keeps us glued to our screens, wondering what will happen next. Henyard's actions, her lavish spending, questionable financial dealings, and a blatant disregard for the concerns of the very people who elected her are nothing short of breathtaking. It's a masterclass in political hubris, a stark reminder of how unchecked power can corrode even the most promising leaders. The way Henyard has handled the crisis reveals how easily a leader can be consumed by their own ambition, losing sight of the very principles that should guide their decisions. Yet, even in the midst of this chaos and controversy, there is a glimmer of hope. The residents of Dolton, despite being called
Today, and that main building was locked. No one was answering the main phone lines, and some services that are offered there are for electric and heating for low.
The story of Tiffany Henyard is about much more than just a local political scandal. It serves as a mirror to the larger issues facing our society. It's a sobering narrative about the abuse of power, the erosion of trust in public institutions, and the critical need to hold elected officials accountable for their actions. What began as a series of controversial decisions has now grown into a full-blown crisis, raising questions that resonate far beyond the borders of Dolton, Illinois. This is a story that speaks to communities across the country, offering a cautionary tale of what can happen when leaders prioritize their personal ambitions over the well-being of the people they are meant to serve. As this dramatic saga unfolds, it captures the attention of audiences nationwide, sparking debates about ethics, leadership, and the future of local governance. The outcome of this story is still uncertain, but one thing is clear. It will continue to captivate and challenge the public's perception of political power and responsibility for years to come. The fate of Henyard remains up in the air. Will she be able to claw her way back into power, using whatever political maneuvering she can? Or will the mounting weight of the accusations and the public outcry finally bring her down, ending her career and forcing a reckoning with the damage she's caused? And what of the residents of Dolton? Will they ever find the stability and leadership they so desperately crave, or will their town remain mired in dysfunction and distrust? The questions are numerous, and the answers are still unfolding. As the investigation deepens and the drama intensifies, one thing is certain. The people of Dolton are demanding change,